Good morning. It's good to be back with all of you once again as we continue our special coverage of the US President Donald Trump's visit to India. And today is day 2 of that important visit. It's the business end of the visit. Yesterday was on display our cultural might, in a sense, cultural diplomacy at its best. The US President got a big dose of what India really is, Atati Devo Bhava.
Absolutely.
And today we are going to get down to the serious business.
Yes.
The US President is going to receive a ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhawan, part of a state visit. That's the, the grandeur also of our country. And after that, the delegation level talks,
Absolutely.
the exchange of agreements,
Yes.
all that. And
Yes.
we'll be covering all that live for you with our correspondents on the field. I'm Mark, and with me is Sakal.
Good morning, India. Well, of course, Namaste Trump rolling coverage on DD India continues to be a top focus throughout the day today. Remember, yesterday, if it was high on symbolism, today it's going to be all business, pretty much high on substance, as reiterated by Mark. And talking about day 2, remember, it's been a very intense, short 36-hour power pack trip of Trump's. And talking about day 2, that is today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump will be holding restricted and delegation level talks in national capital today, and all issues including defense, security and trade are expected to come up during the talks between Prime Minister Modi and US President.
The 5th meeting in 8 months, the leader of the world's largest democracy hosting the leader of the world's oldest democracy. While day 1 of President Trump's first visit to India was high on optics, color, hospitality and exuberant people-to-people connect, day 2 is all about hard talk.
The day will begin here at Rashtrapati Bhawan, where President Trump will be accorded a ceremonial welcome and guard of honor in keeping with tradition. But all eyes will be on Hyderabad House, where restricted and delegation level talks will be held between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump.
It was President Donald Trump's administration that saw India's relationship with the US has evolved to one of the most consequential relationships today, a strategic partnership based on shared values geared towards the 21st century, whether in countering terrorism or in ensuring a peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific. India and the US have unprecedented convergence of interests. Talking of specifics, India has procured over $8 billion worth of defense items from the US, which has enhanced defense preparedness significantly, as have frequent bilateral exercises with each other.
As we continue to build our defense cooperation, the United States looks forward to providing India with some of the best and most feared military equipment on the planet. But this includes advanced air defense systems and armed and unarmed aerial vehicles. And I am pleased to announce representatives will sign deals to sell over $3 billion in the absolute finest state-of-the-art military helicopters and other equipment to the Indian Armed Forces.
On the trade front, the conversation will be taken forward, with India explaining the rationale behind its wish list and America putting across its own point.
There's going to be discussions on 5G, on the Quad. I think there's actually a lot of meaningful areas where the US and India are coming into closer strategic convergence, that you can begin to move the ball forward on these questions when you have the president and cabinet level secretaries and ministers sitting down and hashing these out.
There is a strategic partnership which is very much in place. There is a relationship which has been growing, and India is a reliable partner both in security terms, strategic terms, and in long-term economic terms, although there's a lot of controversy about a trade deal happening or not happening, but the long-term economic potential of India is not in doubt.
The US is India's largest trading partner in goods and services combined, and the overall bilateral trade increased by over 10% per annum over the past 2 years to reach $142 billion in 2018. It is expected to cross $150 billion for the first time this year. United States is India's 6th largest source of crude oil imports, with hydrocarbon imports rising to $7 billion in the last 2 years.
The United States and India are also working closely together on the future of space exploration. You are making impressive strides with your exciting Chandrayaan lunar program. It is moving along rapidly, far ahead of schedule, and America looks forward to expanding our space cooperation with India. It is truly extraordinary, and what they have done under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, it is absolutely incredible. Mr. Prime Minister, congratulations.
Cooperation in sectors as varied as space, health, science and technology will also move to the next level.
Global and regional issues like situation in Afghanistan will also come up for discussion. Needless to say, this visit will be high, not just on symbolism but on substance also. Sudhakar Das, DD News, Delhi.
So indeed, and to discuss the substance of today's meeting, we have with us in the studio Major General retired Dhruv Katoch, Director of the India Foundation. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. So let's understand it from the defense point of view, because our story focused first directly on that. It's and the US President yesterday did mention, you know, we'll provide India with the best advanced air defense systems, $3 billion state-of-the-art military helicopters. You know, one of the analysts also in our report said that only when there is strategic convergence can the leadership level move forward. So that's what we are seeing, isn't it?
Yes, I think what we are looking at today, as far as the strategic convergence is concerned, is a similarity of interest both in the Indo-Pacific as also in West Asia and Afghanistan. Now, when we are looking into the Indo-Pacific, there are two major concerns as far as India is concerned. One is we want an assurance that the sea lanes remain free and open, and America is similarly inclined. This has got great relevance now because the major trade has shifted to this to the Indo-Pacific now, where over 50% of the world's trade will be passing through these waters. So the safety and security of all the shipping, I think, is a vital concern to both countries. The second is the hegemonistic designs which China has actually displayed in this region, especially in the South China Sea. And when we are looking at the South China Sea, the Southeast Asian nations, their relationship with China, especially with respect to various islands and the claims over various territories, the Chinese tend to be hegemonistic, and even if there's a ruling as per the world bodies, China tends to ignore that. So I think there are concerns as to Chinese intentions here, and on this point too, I think there is a convergence of interest with both India and the United States.
Right.
When we're looking at West Asia, the American interests have declined to a very large extent when it pertains to the requirement of energy resources. There was a time when the US used to import oil from the West Asia, but now America is an oil exporting country. So to that extent, American interests have declined. But their interests still remain to the extent that they've got the forces in Iraq and Syria, and they desire to pull out. So there is a requirement for stability as far as the US is concerned. And here again, Indian interests converge, because for India, stability in West Asia is vital. And should the situation actually go out of hand in West Asia, then the problem really is that it will impact on the energy supplies, and all Asian countries, starting from China, Japan, the Southeast Asian countries and India, will be very severely impacted. So I think peace in West Asia is something which we are looking forward to, and so is the United States.
Sure.
And finally, I just want to come to one sentence as far as Afghanistan is concerned. The Americans seek a drawdown in Afghanistan. They want to pull out their forces, and very shortly, by the end of the month, they hope to conclude a deal with the Taliban. Now, whether the deal goes through or not, the time will tell. But should it go through, then we would have to see how peace can be maintained in Afghanistan, because it is vital for us that Afghanistan does not slip back into a civil war situation. So how that will pan out, I think perhaps I'm quite certain that this point will be discussed between Prime Minister Modi and President Donald Trump.
Yeah, we will certainly put our national interests ahead, but then what about the discussion revolving terrorism, for the fact, sir, that yesterday there was a mention of Pakistan, there was mention of Islamic terror, and today in what form, in what tenor will the issue of terrorism or Pakistan again figure in the discussion between the two leaders?
Now, terrorism, the methodology of combating terrorism is again a point of strategic convergence as far as the two countries is concerned. But we must remember there is a subtle difference when we talk of terrorism or Islamic terrorism. The way India looks at it and the way United States looks at it is not exactly similar. When we are looking at it, our focus is really on Pakistan, which is the epicenter of terrorism.
Absolutely.
Basically, if you look at any terrorist incident which has taken place across the world over the last few years, there will be at some point or some individual there who would have had a Pakistani link. Right down to the Easter Sunday attacks which took place in Sri Lanka, there again a Pakistani link emerged. But the American interest as far as the counter-terrorism efforts are concerned is not just confined to Pakistan. I think it goes broader onto what is happening in West Asia, especially when they're looking at the groups which are fighting Israel. Here there's a specific reference to Hezbollah, which the Americans are very concerned about, and so is Israel. And these groups are supported by Iran. So here we get onto a conflict situation between Iran and the United States, specifically on the issue of terrorism. So for India, the concerns of Hezbollah are not so much because we are not directly impacted.
Right.
But we are also impacted by things like the Islamic State, by Al-Qaeda, because when they move into Afghanistan or into Pakistan, then we get directly impacted. So I think the American concerns are slightly wider as far as terrorism is concerned. Ours are more localized. But the concerns are similar, and the methods to fighting.
India want US to, at least now, this is the right time for US to actually pull up Pakistan, not the rhetoric, but in real terms, because we have seen the position taken by US vis-a-vis FATF. Well, Pakistan had to stay in grey list. We wanted Pakistan in blacklist. US did actually walk the talk when it comes to terror vis-a-vis Pakistan. What I'm trying to ask you here, sir, when we talk about terror, let's be realistic. Are we happy with the fact, the support that we've got from United States? It's not only about talking, it's about what you actually do concretely. Putting pressure on Pakistan.
I think, no, I'll just speak over the pressure, but I think the 2 points by which a great deal of cooperation has taken place on the anti-terrorism effort or the counter-terrorism effort is, one is on financial, having financial controls over the finances of terrorist organizations, and the second is sharing of intelligence. So on these two bases, I think a very great deal of cooperation has taken place and is taking place right as of now, and it will continue to take place. The very fact that Pakistan remains on the grey list is really a point which proves what I'm saying. Now, it is very difficult to get Pakistan on the blacklist because as per the FATF rulings, we just require 3 countries to support Pakistan to keep them off the blacklist, and they have those 3 countries in China, Malaysia and Turkey. But I think China is turning around now, so when it comes to June, if Pakistan has not taken action, I think they could very well be placed on the blacklist. But coming down to substantive issues, is it mere rhetoric or is it substantive? Now, I think with respect to Pakistan, America, there is a greater part of rhetoric rather than substance, specifically with Pakistan. And that is not because of any love per se which the United States has for Pakistan, but here it is their strategic interest which also dictates their policies.
In Afghanistan.
Now, America wants to get out of Afghanistan, but even the limited number of troops which they have got in Afghanistan as of now, which I believe is about 6,000 plus troops, even there the maintenance and logistics support actually goes via Pakistan. So to a very large extent, American actions or American presence in Afghanistan is dependent upon Pakistan.
Yes,
so to that extent, I find that American policy is constrained. And I think even in the times to come, I do not see any move by the United States per se to put sanctions on Pakistan for their support to terrorist groups.
All right. In fact, I think, Mark, we have Sudhakar Das, a senior correspondent, joining us live to tell us more about the delegation level talks. Because remember, Sudhakar, we were just looking at your report, like you rightly mentioned or summed it up rather, that today, day 2 is going to be revolving around substance, less of symbolism, but talking about Indo-US global partnership and the contours of the talk today. Well, that's extremely important. Trade, we understand. Strategic partnership, we also understand. A bit of a terrorism will also figure when we will be looking at the delegation level talks in Hyderabad House today. What all is expected?
जी बिल्कुल सकल, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा। और आपको याद होगा पिछली बार जब भारत अमेरिका की बातचीत हुई थी शीर्ष स्तर पर, तो एक डॉक्ट्रिन जो जारी किया गया था उस पर लिखा गया था हम चले साथ साथ, और वो साथ साथ चलते हुए काफ़ी आगे बढ़े हैं दोनों मुल्क मिलकर। और हमको पता है कि अगर बात की जाए पिछले 2-3 वर्षों में खास तौर से जिन तमाम मोर्चों पर, जिसमें खास तौर से सामरिक, रक्षा और एनर्जी सेक्टर, ये 3 जो महत्वपूर्ण मोर्चे हैं, दोनों मुल्कों के बीच काफ़ी तरक्की हुई है। ना सिर्फ 2+2 जो मिनिस्ट्रियल डायलॉग है वो शुरू हुआ है, उसके 2 चरण हो भी चुके हैं 2 वर्षों में, बल्कि बायलैटरल ट्रेड भी आगे बढ़ा है। और एनर्जी में एक कह सकते हैं कि एक रिलायबल पार्टनर यूएस बना है भारत का। तो निश्चित तौर पर जो अहम मुद्दे मुझे लगता है कि ट्रेड के अलावा जो स्ट्रैटेजिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अगर कह सकते हैं तो इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र की बात हो, या फिर अफगानिस्तान की बहुत ज़्यादा चर्चा है इस वक्त। दक्षिण एशिया में भारत एक लीडरशिप रोल में भारत को देखता है। अमेरिका जो तमाम जो बड़े मुद्दे हैं उनको लेकर, उस लिहाज से कहा जा सकता है कि अफगानिस्तान जैसे मुद्दों पर चर्चा हो सकती है। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में जो सहयोग है काफ़ी आगे बढ़ा है। हमको पता है कि लखनऊ में जो डिफेंस एक्सपो हुआ था और भारत जिस तरह से मेक इन इंडिया को आगे बढ़ा रहा है, तो उस मोर्चे पर अमेरिका किस तरह से भारत के साथ साझेदारी कर सकता है। लेकिन इसके अलावा काउंटर टेररिज्म को लेकर साझा सहयोग काफ़ी ज़्यादा दोनों मुल्कों के बीच होता है। इसको और ज़्यादा कैसे बढ़ाना, खासतौर पर
लेकिन देश की नजरें इस पर भी होंगी आज सुधाकर कि प्रधानमंत्री टेररिज्म की क्या बात करेंगे, किस तरीके से, क्या पाकिस्तान का खुले शब्दों में जिक्र होगा? क्योंकि कल हमने देखा डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने पाकिस्तान का जिक्र तो किया, उसके साथ ही साथ इस्लामिक टेरर की भी बात ही की। क्या अब आज जब औपचारिक रूप से ये बातें होंगी, विल इट बी जस्ट रेटरिक, और इस पे कुछ फॉरवर्ड मूवमेंट भी देखा जाएगा कि पाकिस्तान को किसी तरीके से पुल अप किया जाएगा टेरर के इशू को लेके?
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए काउंटर टेरर मेजर्स हैं, उसमें एक बहुत बड़े साझेदार है भारत और अमेरिका। और हम लगातार देख चुके हैं, चाहे FATF हो या फिर जो ग्लोबल टेररिस्ट को उनको नेम करने की बात हो, UN डेजिग्नेटेड टेररिस्ट घोषित करने की बात हो, इन तमाम मोर्चों पर किस तरह से दोनों मुल्क सहयोग बढ़ाते हैं। और डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने जरूर ये भी कहा कि जो पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर पे जो उसके तरफ से टेरर हो रहा है उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए उन्होंने उनको कहा है उनकी अपनी मजबूरियां कुछ हो सकती है, लेकिन आतंक के मोर्चे पर प्रधानमंत्री का एक सख्त और स्पष्ट रवैया जरूर है। और उनका सीधे तौर पे कहना है कि आतंक को बांट कर नहीं देखा जा सकता है, और इस बुराई को अगर खत्म करना है तो एक सिरे से तमाम मुल्कों को बैठकर सोचना पड़ेगा निश्चित तौर पर। तो ये बात भारत की तरफ से बहुत अहम तरीके से उठाई जाएगी, और इसको लेकर भारत और अमेरिका किस तरह से इस सहयोग को आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ के भीतर भी, और जो वैश्विक स्थितियां हैं उसको देखते हुए भी, चाहे साउथ एशिया की बात हो, मिडिल ईस्ट की बात हो, या तमाम अन्य जगहों पर। तो ये बात भारत की तरफ से बहुत प्रमुखता से रखी जाने वाली है। और हमको लगातार हमने देखा है कि चाहे नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइजर हो या फिर एक होमलैंड सिक्योरिटी के स्तर पर जो दोनों देशों के बीच साझा सहयोग जो लगातार बढ़ रहा है, तो ये ऐसे अहम पड़ाव होंगे। इसमें एक लीडरशिप की भूमिका राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी दोनों देशों को देंगे कि अब आगे कैसे बढ़ना है। लेकिन निश्चित तौर पर कई और जो ग्लोबल मुद्दे हैं, 5G की बात है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो एक हम दोनों मुल्क कोशिश ये कर रहे हैं कि साथ मिलकर किसी तीसरे देश में काम करने की बात है, तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के क्षेत्र में खास तौर पर, तो इस तरह के मुद्दों पर भी आज चर्चा होने की उम्मीद है। और एक तरह से एक दोस्ती के नए अध्याय की जो बात की जा रही है, एक नए दौर की जो बात की जा रही है, उसकी नींव रखने की आज कोशिश की जाएगी इस बातचीत के दौरान।
Sudhakar, apart from what the two leaders are going to be discussing, what are the agreements that we are likely to see? Because at the end of the day, it's the joint statement, it's the agreements that, people look at and say, this is what was achieved.
Yes.
जी मार्क, देखिए 11 बजे ये बातचीत शुरू होनी है आज। हालांकि आज के कार्यक्रम की बात की जाए तो सवेरे 10 बजे एक पारंपरिक तौर पर राष्ट्रपति भवन में राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का स्वागत किया जाना है, गार्ड ऑफ ऑनर दिया जाएगा। उसके बाद वो राजघाट जाएंगे जहां वो राष्ट्रपति बापू को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करेंगे और 11 बजे मेरी बाईं तरफ जो हैदराबाद हाउस है यहाँ उनकी प्रधानमंत्री से मुलाकात होगी, पहले रेस्ट्रिक्टेड फॉर्मेट में, फिर प्रतिनिधि मंडल स्तर की बातचीत है। लेकिन ये जरूर कहा जा रहा है कि करीब 1 घंटे 40 मिनट तक ये अगर दोनों फॉर्मेट की बात की जाए तो 1.25 घंटे करीब ये बातचीत चलेगी और उसके बाद कई समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर होने की उम्मीद है। साफ तौर पर नहीं कहा गया, लेकिन एक इशारा कल राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने हमको दिया भी था, जो $3 बिलियन के जो डिफेंस को लेकर रक्षा समझौतों की बात है, जिसमें जो नेवी के लिए हेलीकॉप्टर जो और अन्य तमाम साजो सामान है, तो एक अहम चीज वो रहेगी इस बातचीत में, किस तरह से वो बात आगे बढ़ती है। इसके अलावा चाहे स्पेस हो, साइंस टेक हो, इस तरह के जो तमाम क्षेत्रों में एक आगे की बड़ी दिशा तय करने जा रहे हैं दोनों मुल्क, ये एक इशारा जरूर मिल रहा है भारत के सूत्रों की तरफ से और उसको लेकर काफी अहम बातचीत और समझौतों की तरफ भी दोनों देशों को बढ़ता हुआ देख सकते हैं। तो ये कहा जा सकता है कि करीब जब 1:15 बजे जब दोनों नेता प्रेस से बातचीत करेंगे, मीडिया से बातचीत करेंगे, तो उस दौरान कई जो समझौतों पर भी दोनों मुल्कों के बीच हस्ताक्षर भी होंगे और इसकी तैयारी भी हमारे सूत्रों ने कहा है कि उसकी तैयारी भी काफी कर ली गई है।
Right, thanks very much, Sudhakar. We'll be coming back to you for more during the day. For the moment, thanks very much. Let's move on to our next story then. New history was created at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. The bonhomie was seen between the US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was evident and it signified a new chemistry in Indo-US ties, that's for sure.
It is your faith in the strength of a free society, your confidence in your own people, your trust in your own citizens, and your respect for the dignity of every person that makes the United States and India such a natural, beautiful, enduring friendship.
India-USA relations are no longer just another partnership. It is a far greater and closer relationship.
When heads of the world's biggest democracies met and shared the stage, the entire world was spellbound. The bonhomie was clearly visible. President Trump and Prime Minister Modi started a new chapter of friendship between India and the US at the Motera Stadium. The leaders called each other natural and permanent friends. Trump, in his half-an-hour-long speech, touched almost on all issues concerning both the countries. Trump said that both India and America are committed to defending their people from the menace of radical Islamic terror.
The United States and India are also firmly united in our ironclad resolve to defend our citizens from the threat of radical Islamic terrorism. Both of our countries have been hurt by the pain and turmoil of terrorism and that terrorism brings.
In the presence of his wife Melania, daughter Ivanka, son-in-law Jared Kushner, Trump said that America likes India and will be a friend forever. While mentioning about Indian-American incredible economic relations, Trump said that both countries are working on a great trade agreement.
India has an important leadership role to play in shaping a better future as you take on greater responsibility for solving problems and promoting peace throughout this incredible region. Over the course of my visit, Prime Minister Modi and I will also discuss our efforts to expand the economic ties between our two countries. We will be making very, very major, among the biggest ever made, trade deals. I am optimistic that working together, the Prime Minister and I can reach a fantastic deal that's good and even great for both of our countries.
Welcoming Trump, Prime Minister Modi was in the role of a great host as he said history has been created in Motera Stadium. The PM termed Trump's visit as a new chapter in India-America relations and said that this will be a new document in the progress and prosperity of the people of both the countries.
There is so much that we share, shared values and ideals, shared spirit of enterprise and innovation, shared opportunities and challenges, shared hopes and aspirations. मुझे खुशी है.
The PM mentioned about the foundation of strong relations between India and America and said that unity and diversity are the basis of strong relations.
एक को स्टैच्यू ऑफ लिबर्टी पर गर्व है तो दूसरे को दुनिया की सबसे ऊंची प्रतिमा सरदार पटेल की स्टैच्यू ऑफ यूनिटी का गौरव है. There is so much that we share, shared values and ideals, shared spirit of enterprise and innovation, shared opportunities and challenges, shared hopes and aspirations.
Prime Minister Modi not only praised President Trump's reign but also lauded the role of First Lady Melania Trump. The PM remembered the meeting he had with Trump's daughter Ivanka 2 years back as well as her work. The PM also said that Ivanka's husband is doing good work without coming into limelight. Prime Minister Modi also mentioned the work of his own government and said that today 130 crore Indians are together working towards building New India.
अमेरिका की तरह ही आज भारत में भी परिवर्तन के लिए अभूतपूर्व अधीरता है. आज 130 करोड़ भारतवासी मिलकर न्यू इंडिया का निर्माण कर रहे हैं. हमारी युवा शक्ति एस्पिरेशन से भरी पड़ी हुई है. आज भारत में दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्टेडियम ही नहीं है, आज भारत दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी हेल्थ एश्योरेंस स्कीम भी चला रहा है.
The PM said that new alliances, new competition, new challenges, new opportunities are laying the foundation of change in the 21st century. And in the coming time, our economic basis will improve and digital cooperation will be comprehensive. It's quite evident that both leaders praised each other's work and declared a new momentum and sweetness in the relations. It's clear that in the coming days, India and America will chart the direction of the world for the 21st century. With Arun Sharma, O.P. Das and Neeraj Singh, Newsnight Desk, DD India.
Indeed, a wonderful occasion yesterday. But let's go across now to our correspondent Shreya Upadhyay, who is joining us from Rajghat. Shreya, the US President had visited Sabarmati Ashram yesterday, and today he's going to be visiting Rajghat. I think a perfect tribute, in a sense, to the father of the nation. Put this into perspective for us.
Absolutely, Mark. Good morning, first of all, to you and Sakal and the guests in our studio, as well as our viewers who have been watching the continuous coverage of US President Donald Trump's visit to India. Now, to put this into perspective, let me start with the fact that, Mahatma Gandhi had never visited US during his lifetime, yet, we have leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. or former presidents like Jimmy Carter and Barack Obama speaking about the fact that, how they were inspired by the vision and the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. And today's visit of US President Donald Trump and the First Lady will also reiterate the fact that Mahatma Gandhi has inspired millions and millions of people across the world, not just in India but across the world, whether it is the US or just to mention Nelson Mandela from South Africa. So he has been a global icon, a voice which has a human being which has inspired generations across the world. And today, when Donald Trump and the First Lady visit and pay their tributes to Mahatma Gandhi, it is of course going to be a historic moment, reiterating the very fact that the world still respects and remembers Mahatma Gandhi and is, trying to walk on the path that he showed years ago. So today, when the President and the First Lady come here, they will be paying their floral tributes, as well as they are expected to plant a sapling here, and of course they will be sharing their views and thoughts on how they felt and what they feel about Mahatma Gandhi when they write in the visitors book. So a clear message going out there with this visit. Of course, yesterday we saw them also paying tribute and trying to learn about the life and times of Mahatma Gandhi at the Sabarmati Ashram.
Yes.
The very fact that they started their India visit by visiting the Sabarmati Ashram is message enough to the entire world that the Mahatma Gandhi, the vision and the principles of Mahatma Gandhi are still alive.
Certainly,
Mark?